test. The guys just dialed in those situations.
I'm just surprised. Well, one of the reasons why the Nuggets didn't call timeout, so it did give the Lakers a chance to say, hey, look, I don't care who else is shooting it, but do not let Jamal or Joker shoot it. Well, they let Jamal shoot it, and we know what he can do.
Well, Jamal had 32 points, guys, and I want you to know one other thing. In the fourth quarter, he accounted with points, 12 of them, 4 assists. 85% of the Nuggets scoring in that fourth quarter, compliments of Jamal Murray. Let's hear from him.
Coach Malone said that that you guys had an emotional conversation just before the game about whether you would be able to play with the calf. What was kind of that conversation like, and how badly did you want to be able to play in this game?
I don't know. I didn't watch the interview, but I mean, yeah, I came a little earlier today to see if I was going to be able to go, and I felt like I could. And they just didn't want me to risk it. They told me no. And I didn't say no. So I didn't want to leave my teammates out there. You know, we've been battling all season. Everybody's hurt at some point. Everybody's going through something. And I just wouldn't be able to live with myself if I wasn't able to play this game. So I just did everything. We just did everything we could, and got a lot of people in the room to talk about the plan, and I was able to go out there and give 40 minutes worth. So I'm just glad, you know, they listened to me, listening to my body, and just trusting me with it. So it was a team effort.
Hey Jamal, after you made the shot again, but what are the things that you think the Nuggets can repeat against the Minnesota in the next series?
We gotta be a little bit more disciplined with the game plan. You know, I think, you know, there's so many counters and so many coverages and so many matchups and all that, you know, sometimes in the game you're just reading, reacting. I think if we do a better job of just sticking with the game plan that we come up with, I think we'll do a good job of, well, that's the game plan. We'll do a better job. So I just think we've got to be a little bit of discipline and just limit turnovers, you know. We can't give them life, can't give them extra possessions, and got to rebound.
Jamal, can you take us through, I guess, the similarities and maybe the differences between the game winner tonight and the one last week?
Game 2, I went right, and game 4, I went 5 and went left.
Jamal, were you able to, you know, get the explosion off the dribble that you normally get, and how did you compensate, and how were you able to get to your spots, especially in the second half, if you know, not being able to get to your spot?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, in my opinion, I was moving well enough, you know, for me to go. Obviously, that's a big thing if you're not moving well. But my biggest thing was jumping. You know, I think it was tough for me to leave the ground, even just on jump shots. I tried to like, you know, have a deeper gather, just so I didn't put a lot of stress on my calves. So in the first quarter, the shots that I took, I was just gathering a little more, and then it started to warm up, and then adrenaline started to kick in. Yeah, just leaving the ground, I think, was the biggest worry for me when I was playing. But now that we got a week off, I'm just glad I get to rest the body and you know, come back fresh and rejuvenated against T-Wolves on Saturday.
Jamal, obviously, you finished the series here, don't have to go back to LA. How proud of you of the team for being able to finish it in this way and just be able to stick with it in the fourth quarter? That was a really tough fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's tough, man. They played the whole series. They played great. LeBron is such a beast, bro. I don't know how old he is, but to go play 44 minutes, man, and like play really good, that just speaks a lot to his greatness, man. It was just one of those games where we had to stay locked in, and they just make you think so much. Even when you're winning or you're winning games, it's still a good game. There's still a lot of like details that go into it. So yeah, it was just an impressive win by us. I think Porter's been amazing. I think AG had a huge rebound after I bricked one of those shots. KCP's fighting through that ankle. Yoke is being Yoke, man. It's just like, I think it's just everybody's locked in. Even when we're not making shots, we're just finding a way to grit it out and just stay together and just take the haymakers that they were throwing at us. So shout out to the Lakers, man. They gave us a great series. It was a lot of fun. I'm just glad we got the job done on our home court.
Jamal, 2-game winners in the same series. As a basketball fan, have you ever seen something like that? And what is it like to maybe be the first person to do it?
Yeah, it's amazing, those are shots that you dream of as a little kid. You practice in the backyard, at the playground. But like I said in game 2, man, we don't get to that shot without everybody pitching in. Like I said, AG had a huge rebound. I can't tell you how big that rebound that was. Mike hit a few huge threes, and like I said, man, it's a team effort. I can go and put 2 points at the end of the game, and that's how a lot of guys talk about. But like my teammates, man, I'm not the only one that's working out there. So my teammates have been just doing a great job of just sticking with it, even when they're not making shots or stuff's not going our way. Just finding a way to win an extra possession or get an extra stop. That can be the game right there. Sometimes making the shot is the easy part. This is stopping LeBron freaking James. Can we do that? You know what I'm saying? So that was a challenge today.
Jamal, after LeBron's free throws, 26 seconds left, you walk the ball into the front court. What were you looking for there, or what were you thinking about, or was there?
Well, it was basically a timeout. So I think we had 2 timeouts and they didn't have any. So when I looked at Coach, we called the play. I looked back, I asked him if we should go right away. I think it was only a 2 or 3 second difference, maybe 4. And we knew what we were going to get to. We going to get the last shot. Man, I think that was the timeout right there. I think that I'm an extension of him out there, so I was able to relay the message. Everybody got to their spots. I got to mine, and we were able to close it out.
Jamal, how important was just the start for you guys, just to finally find that success again and that intensity that Coach said was lacking?
Yeah, all the players touched on it too. Just making sure we come out and then try to have the lead by halftime or by the first quarter, whatever. That was our main focus. So I think we did a better job of just bringing that energy and weathering the storms and playing for each other during that stretch. So it was good to see and good to be a part of. And we're going to need more of that consistency down the stretch. So, it was definitely a focal point going tonight, knowing that we didn't want to go back to LA.
You heard LeBron speaking there about his future, also his son's future in Bronny James. We know he has that player option where he's due $51 million. What is everybody telling you when it comes to what might be next for LeBron outside of LA?
Well, people within the Lakers organization are pretty confident that he's going to be a Laker, but there should be a caveat there. The people in Cleveland were pretty confident he was never going to leave Cleveland. The people in Miami were pretty confident he was going to stay in Miami after that first 4 years. So you just don't know, Chris. There's certainly those around the NBA who think that LeBron James would like to join Bronny and play with him. The best way to do that, if Bronny joins the upcoming draft, is for LeBron to opt out of that deal and go to whatever team were to draft Bronny. Now, you heard LeBron there dodge the question or maybe legitimately just say, not the time, not thinking about it. But there are some folks who think he's absolutely going to stay in Los Angeles this summer. There are some folks who think there's a chance he'd go somewhere else, which is appropriate because it feels like we never know what LeBron is doing until LeBron tells us.
That is true. And he commands so much of the narrative and creates a lot of the narrative as well with his presence and his charisma, right? But when you think about LeBron James' tenure with the Lakers, Bill, how would you characterize it so far? Because we know one in the bubble in 2020, a lot of people said that was the toughest championship, players that is, to do it. How would you characterize his tenure if it really is his last game in a Lakers uniform?
Man, it's a great question. It's always a Rorschach test. People that love LeBron say it's amazing, and people that don't like LeBron say, what a bum, he's not Jordan. The reality is that I think it's a very successful tenure. To your point, he got a championship. It counts. There's no asterisk for me, and I don't think will be for history. You're right. There's certainly not for guys that actually played in the bubble and play in the NBA or played back then. I think it's been a really good run. You've got an NBA championship over the course of that time, igniting. It's good that I know how to talk, Chris. Reigniting that sort of Lakers purple and gold glory, right? It had been a while since they've been competitive on the level they wanted to be. Made a conference finals last year. Obviously, they didn't do the things they wanted to do, but LeBron's at the back end of his 30s right now, not the back end of his 20s. So for me, extremely successful. Maybe doesn't live up to the ridiculous standards he set by his own career, but he went to LA. He got a title. He won a Finals MVP. I think it's been a pretty good run.
He's won a championship everywhere he's gone. Every franchise has put up that Larry O'Brien trophy, and not everybody can say that who bounces around different teams. But speaking of this Lakers team, Bill, when you look at the roster construction and their contract situation with guys like D'Angelo Russell, of course, LeBron, you got Rui Hachimura, AD's going to probably be there for a while, Austin Reeves. What can they do realistically to improve this roster to make sure they get to that NBA Finals?
The answer is not very much. I mean, they have some decisions to make about D'Angelo Russell. You see that he's got that basically $19 million player option. He's almost certainly going to opt out of that and want more money and more years. It all revolves around what LeBron James decides to do. If he sticks around, this is going to basically be the team. Now, they do, the way the CBA works, they do have access to basically 3 first-round picks they can trade once we get to the offseason. That wasn't true at the trade deadline. So there is a world where perhaps they could go big game hunting. Trae Young is the name that has been tossed out to me as somebody the Lakers plan to target and think they can get, according to sources in that Lakers organization. I'm also told that Donovan Mitchell is somebody that the Lakers would be interested in. Though talking to folks around the NBA, Chris, there's a sense that Mitchell might be more interested in going east than going west. We'll see what happens over the course of the summer. But barring that kind of move, and it certainly remains to be seen. Let's take Trae Young as an example. Whether the Lakers have enough to offer, I'm not sure that 3 first-round picks down the line and whatever they would give up. Is it Austin Reeves? I don't think that is enough to go get Trae Young. I think the Spurs, as an example, can offer more. So it's a really difficult position. Presuming they can't go get a big name and add a big name, the real question is, do they give D'Angelo Russell money and years? They probably do if LeBron is there. And so you're looking at a situation very similar to the Suns, where the Suns are trapped in probably a huge problem. The Lakers are trapped probably in mediocrity for the next 2 years. And you have to ask yourself, do you have a better alternative? Because you don't have a lot of flexibility if LeBron's willing to come back and you compare him with Anthony Davis and more or less roll this same team out there again.
So with all that being said, Bill, I'm going to put you on the spotlight. Hot seat. What is your gut feeling about what LeBron James is going to do this offseason when it comes to staying with the Lakers or testing his options elsewhere?
Full disclosure, I've got my gut feeling wrong several times. I was sure LeBron was going to stay in Miami, and then a source told me right before that he was going to the Cavs, and I didn't believe it. I worked for a different network then and said it on TV, and they all made fun of me, and I thought, yeah, I'd make fun of me too. There's no way he's going back to Cleveland, even though I just said it on the air. And he did. So I don't know. I really don't. And it's easy to forget sometimes. People thought he might be a Knick when he went to the Heat. People were convinced, including Dwayne Wade, who was on a plane with him back from Vegas, he was going to stay in Miami. Nobody saw him going to Cleveland. And even when LeBron went to the Lakers, that wasn't the expected outcome. So a surprise is absolutely possible. Nothing would surprise me. But I think he's likely to remain a Laker. Rich Paul, who's his agent and will represent Bronny, is also a close personal friend. So I would imagine that they might be able to put, not supposed to do this, but there are certainly people in the NBA who think maybe that particular agent would put some pressure on teams not to draft Bronny if it's not the right spot. And there's the complicated conversation about the fact Bronny's probably not a first-round, he is not a first-round pick if his last name isn't James, if he's not LeBron James' son. So it gives some flexibility where he could end up. All of which is to say this: I think LeBron will stay a Laker, but it wouldn't surprise me if he decides to surprise all of us.
Okay, so you didn't really give us an answer. I mean, yeah.
Lakers.
Lakers.
I think he's going to be a Laker.
Okay, all right. I got you, Bill. We'll see if it comes true as the months go by. Bill Ryder, always have fun talking to you, man. And here's a look at LeBron James' all-time career ranks. In minutes, second. Points, first, no surprise there. Dimes, fourth in the NBA. All-star appearances, number 1 as well. And then playoff wins, number 1. What does this mean? LeBron James is one hell of a player and also a winner. 4 titles to his name in the NBA. And up next, let's talk about the winners. Jamal Murray snatching the Lakers' soul once again, this time doing it to end the series. Murray, Magic, next.